I'm trying to tell you here, you'll not only do 20x, 10 to 20x on your investment, because let's be reasonable. Any bull market that you pick from happening, if you have picked the right project, you're bound to do at least 20x, now depending on the market cap. Now, if you talk about Bitcoin, it is not going to do a 20x or a 10x. I think the maximum it can do is 6x. That's what the financial analysts have been projecting. So you really have to dig in. You really have to focus on what projects you need to invest in. And this is what I'm going to tell you here. So please watch the video the entire time. Hello everyone, my name is Adesh and welcome to Coffee and Crypto. This is my very first video. So if you like the content and think this can add to your crypto knowledge, then please comment below and like this video to let the YouTube algorithm know that you enjoy the content. And I promise to continue to make such videos. Today, we are going to discuss my top 5 crypto sectors that has the highest potential for 2023. We are not going to be talking about crypto coins. We're going to be talking about sectors that really can achieve its highest potential in 2023. But first, I want to acknowledge that Bitcoin has a strong track record and is often considered as the safest bet in the crypto asset industry. But with the return on investment that is simply not higher than other options, we'll be looking at other crypto categories for maximum potential. So I would like to just give you an example what I mean by that. Let's say all the financial analysts and the crypto analysts, they are projecting the Bitcoin to reach $100,000 by next year, which is after the halving, which is happening on 2024. And let's say it reaches to $100,000, and the current price of the Bitcoin is $16,000. So that would take your, you'd maximize your return by 6x, which I think it's a lot, which if you compare with stock and other equity market, 6x is a huge return. But we are going to be looking into industries that can give us 10x and 20x. I know it sounds too good to be true, but if you follow this video and you understand why I'm trying to, talk about these sectors, why I'm trying to tell you about these sectors, you'll definitely understand why these sectors can play an important role in the upcoming months and years. So we're going to dive straight in. We're going to dive straight in. And a very first category that has a very high potential is decentralized exchange. And I'm going to show you why in a second. Let me just share the screen. With everything that has been happening with FTT and all these centralized exchanges, you'll see people are moving away from centralized exchanges. And all this money is flowing into decentralized exchanges. So exchanges like Uniswap, PancakeSwap, and then if you talk about Radium, I think Radium is a centralized exchange, although. So Uniswap, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, these are few exchanges that one should be focused on if you really believe in the narrative of decentralized exchanges. If you go to DeFi Llama, you can see the total value logged. And you can see the first exchange, decentralized exchange that you see here is Uniswap. And for a very good reason, because all the transaction that has been happening on Ethereum, Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Celo is going through Uniswap. So I believe Uniswap has a very big potential if you want to invest into a decentralized space, exchange space. The other option that we can consider is PancakeSwap. Like Uniswap is for Ethereum, PancakeSwap is for Binance. If you come down to the coin market cap and you see the highest of the price action of Uniswap, it went up to $44 in I think in August 2021, in October 2021, and now it's sitting at $5. I believe it's a very good opportunity. Again, it's not a financial advice, but I'm definitely looking into adding to my position here. And now if you come to EtherScan, you can actually see the number of wallets have been increasing. The number of holders of people actually holding Uniswap have been increasing steadily. So I think this gives us a very good information into what people are thinking about decentralized exchanges. Our other category, the next category that I want to talk to you about is layer one blockchain projects. Now, like Bitcoin was a digital gold, I think layer ones are can be considered digital oil. And everybody, I think, is familiar with Ethereum, Cardano, and Solana. And so these are very good investments. In fact, Ethereum has gone deflationary. So uh, some financial analysts are actually claiming it to be the asset of the year for 2023. So keep an eye on Ethereum, but and make sure that you do your own research and invest in the layer ones. Everybody knows about Ethereum. Everybody knows about Cardano. I'm here to talk about a layer one that people have been neglecting for a while now because of its price action, and for a very good reason. I'm going to talk to you about ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. So this is also a layer one, and although it cannot be considered an ETH killer layer one, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But let's talk about price action here. I remember buying this, I think last year, in about when the price of ICP was $100, and I was just getting into the crypto space, and I didn't realize that what the technology did. So I ended up selling my position, but turns out I did make the right decision. Anyway, so if you see the high of ICP, if you see the price action, if you see where it just says 1 year, let me just do it. Okay, so it went up to $428, and to some exchanges, it went up to $700. And right now it's sitting at 3.87. Now, if you understand what happened with FTT, you'll likely have this information where how this price was manipulated. I have I think an article on Medium which explains why ICP's price was manipulated. So that's why it became very not pleasing and not attractive to the retail investors. So they got out of ICP, but in everything that has happened with ICP and everything that has happened with FTT, and we had the crypto crash. ICP has been building since then. They have been building. They have been working hard. They have been doing everything right. And I believe, when bull market comes, when the halving happens, and if the layer one, if the layer one narratives take off, ICP is going to be in contention along with Solana, Cardano, Ethereum. Now people are talking about Aptos. I don't want to get into that. But ICP, I want to talk to you about ICP because it really is a different technology. It has, if you see the throughput, it's about 5,000 transactions per second. You can also check Solana's. I think it's lower than this right now. And the block rate is 37.5 BPS. This is basically some basic information which you can use to compare with other blockchains, with other layer ones. But what I want to talk to you about is, I want to talk to you about how is it different from Ethereum. And let me just pull up my slide if I have it. Okay. So I want to talk to you about ICP because of this special technology called canisters. Also, they are integrating their chain with Bitcoin, which is a very big deal in itself. But I want to talk to you about canisters. All the layer ones, it's a blockchain technology. So all the blocks that has been adding to chains that are being verified are being stored somewhere, and they're being stored in Amazon Web Services, Google, and they pay a lot of money to store that. Now, what ICP is doing is actually paying very significantly. It's actually paying nothing if you compare it with Ethereum and Solana. And how they're doing it is by using canister on-chain for on-chain storage. So I'm going to read this article from here. So Internet Computer Ecosystem is creating the environment for true decentralization in Web 3.0. Internet computer canisters can each hold up to 4 GB of data, and it costs nothing, next to nothing. What would it cost to store just 1 GB of data on the Ethereum blockchain for the entire year. And you'll be shocked. I think you can see it says about $240 million. So to store 1 GB per year, it costs Ethereum about 240 million and Solana $840,000. When it comes to ICP, it costs about $5. So, a lot of people say why we don't need more layer ones. They're doing the same thing, but ICP is actually trying to solve the problem. And so I think ICP is in strong contention when it comes to layer one. And if the layer one narratives follow through, which I think it will, we should definitely be looking into ICP if we want to maximize our potential gains. Now, the next category that I want to talk to you about is the gaming industry, right? Because what has been happening is during the Meta phase, when Facebook announced that it's changing its name to Meta, shut up. So I remember buying a coin called Somnium Space Cubes for about $1, and it went up to $17. And the project had nothing apart from being related to metaverse. So during this time, I think a lot of games took off. And why I want to, and why it happened, and why a lot of people made money in the gaming boom, and why I think that was just the beginning, and why the gaming crashed. I'm going to give a reason for that as well, and why I think the gaming industry is going to be one of the most important sectors in 2023 and 2024. So gaming industry has seen a significant growth in the blockchain space with the use of non-fungible tokens. Now, if you think about if you have played Fortnite, I think a lot of people have played Fortnite. A lot of people have played Call of Duty, and you level up. You reach certain points, and then you level up, and then you get certain avatars. You get certain costumes, certain clothes, certain features from the game. You get to own that. And imagine, let's say Bitcoin is 11 million, right? And that's where the price is shooting up, 21 million actually. So if everybody wants a Bitcoin, naturally the price of the Bitcoin is going to rise. And that we have seen that happen. Now think about a game that has 10,000 NFTs as a feature in the game, and millions of players are playing it. So if you compare that, you can understand how the gaming economy and how the gaming technology on blockchain is going to work. And if you really dig in, you can see how big companies like Sharpnel, I mean, just see the graphics here. It's a shooter game. I think it can easily replace Call of Duty. It's on the blockchain. You get to keep your own NFTs. You can trade, and this is really the future. Online gaming, blockchain gaming, will really replace the gaming that we currently have. So Fortnite, and I'm basically talking about the technology that they use. Now, if you switch to other tab, you'll see the FIFA first post EA games will be blockchain titles. So FIFA and EA Sports is getting into blockchain as well. So this is another narrative that I think we should be focused on in going to 2023 and 2024. FIFA announces 4 new blockchain games following split with EA. So as you can see, a lot of gaming tycoons, a lot of gaming startups, a lot of gaming companies, a lot of gaming studios are getting on blockchain and trying to maximize the narrative. And so us as retail investors, we should be focused on what we are trying to do, where we're trying to invest, and we should have the important knowledge. We should have the important insights on where this narrative is going. And that's how we're going to make informed decisions. Also, Polygon Studios join forces to level up their blockchain gaming. So as you can see, I've been trying to talk to you, and I've been trying to tell you that how blockchain gaming is definitely one of the bigger narratives in the 2023 and 2024. Now, the next narrative that you're going to talk about is DeFi, decentralized finance. Now, what decentralized finance is basically lending, borrowing, by giving your crypto assets as a collateral, or even giving out your NFTs as collateral. And this really saw a boom in 2019. And then we had a sharp decline because of everything that happened with Celsius, with Luna. And I think they're going to make a comeback. And I think that this is one of the stronger narratives that we should look into. Now, if you look into Aave, Aave is basically a lending and a borrowing protocol. So let's say you have an ETH of $10,000, you deposit it on the platform, and you can borrow, you can give it as a collateral, and you can borrow money against it. Aave has been building. If you go to the Twitter, they have been building constantly. If you see the price action, it went from $600 to about $55 now. A lot of people jumped onto the DeFi train when the bull run was happening and didn't actually realize the potential of it, didn't actually realize what it does. And I think it's going to come back in 2023 and 2024. So decentralized finance. Now, I'm not saying to invest in Aave. I'm saying how Bitcoin is a digital gold, how Bitcoin is the safest asset. Likewise, Aave is the safest asset in the DeFi category. So it's Aave, and then another project that is favorite of mine is Alchemix. And Alchemix is basically a self-paying. They're basically a self-paying code. So what it does is, if you borrow money against your asset, it'll self-pay the money back to the network. So that way you don't get liquidated. And I think this is going to be one of those biggest finds in 2023 and 2024. I'm definitely keeping an eye on Alchemix. Aave is the safest bet in DeFi, but if I were to take a little bit risk, I think Alchemix is a great option. Now, I'm telling you all the categories. You necessarily do not have to follow the coins or the chains or the networks that I'm talking about. You can do your own research, but these are, according to me, are the top most crypto chains in their respective categories. So DeFi is the fourth one. Now, all of us have been told how metaverse is going to change the world, and I 100% agree with that. But I think we're pretty early at this stage, and whatever the price action that we saw in 2021, I don't think that correlates to the utility it provides. So if you think about metaverse, if you think about how Facebook changed its name to Meta, you have to understand how the metaverse is going to actually work. You need infrastructure. So you need some render. So you need to basically render augmented reality, right? And that's where render token comes in. These are just examples I'm giving you in certain categories. You can pick your own projects in the category. What we are going to focus is on the category, not the token. I'm just giving you an example. That's why I've opened up few tokens or certain categories. So if you talk about render token, it basically renders the metaverse. And this is where I feel this has the maximum potential when it comes to the metaverse narrative. The other project that I want to talk to you about is Rweave. Now, you have a lot of blockchains, that are now having, entertaining this idea of metaverse. And so whatever blocks that are added to those chains, they need to be stored somewhere in a decentralized manner. And that's where Rweave comes in. So if you see how we're trying to set up this narrative, we talked about decentralized exchanges, then we went through Uniswap, then we talked about layer ones, then we went through ICP, then we talked about DeFi, talked about how Aave and Alchemix are doing the right job, and then we talked about blockchain gaming, and now we're talking about metaverse. So we need to focus on how and what sort of projects we need to pick that can actually add value to these categories. So if you pick Rweave, think about Rweave as a storage, decentralized storage. So if anybody is making a project in metaverse, they will need to store their blocks on a certain network. That's where Rweave comes in. They'll need somebody to render the surroundings, the virtual reality, aspect. That's where render comes. So I hope this gave you an insight on what we should be focusing in the coming year. And we should really get in to the details. We should really analyze the projects that we want to invest in. That way we can have maximum impact on any investment that we make. So these are my top 5 highest potential in the crypto space. Remember always to do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. If I were, I wouldn't be doing this. I would be advising people to make sound investments. So these are just my insights that I'm trying to do. I've been in crypto space for about 2 years. So I hope I gave you something to think about. And always remember, you need to do your own research and only put in money that you're willing to lose. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again.